Good morning, boys and girls. Today for science, we're talking more about the properties of matter. Remember that matter is anything that takes up space, and it can come in 3 states. It can be can you think of one? I always like to say them in the same order, so I'm going to say solid first, but you might say a different one. What's another one? A liquid or a gas. It can come in those 3 states, and matter is anything that takes up space. Remember with our experiment that we did a couple weeks ago with the Kleenex in the water, we demonstrated that even air or a gas takes up space, right? We trapped it in the cup and it stopped the Kleenex or whatever we put in the bottom of the cup from getting wet. So that was how that we could see that air takes up space. I always call it air. I mean gas. That's how we saw that gas takes up space. Another way that we can tell that gas takes up space is when we blow up a balloon. The matter that is going inside the balloon is a gas, and we can see that the balloon is expanding. So that's one other way that we can see that a gas also takes up space. We can see a liquid takes up space if we have an empty cup and we pour something in it. The liquid is taking up the space in the cup. And then solids, we see that they take up space because they're in front of us, right? And it means that something is there and we would have to move it in order to put something else in the space that it's taking up. When we look at different objects or different things of matter, we can look at their properties. The physical properties are some of the most common. So for those, we would use our 5 senses. What does the object look like? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? In feeling, there's a whole bunch of different things. Is it smooth? Is it rough? Is it bumpy? Is it furry? Is it hot? Is it cold? And sometimes we think that hot and cold might go with our taste too, because if we put something in our mouth that's maybe come out of the oven or a microwave, it might be hot. But hot isn't a taste if it's a temperature. Hot isn't a taste. That's a feeling. We are just happening to feel that feeling in our mouth when we put the food in. Hot as a taste, I would say, is spicy. Things can most certainly taste spicy. They can taste spicy or sweet or sour or tart. What's another one? There's another one, a strange word that I was trying to think of. So we can talk about the different properties. I have a short video for you to watch today, and then we're going to go into our bird page. So here is our video. I'll move this back over just a smidge so you can see all of it.
I'm Dr. Jeff Inniker, and today we'll explore the science behind the properties of matter. With Dr. Jeff! One of these gas canisters is sulfur hexafluoride. The other is helium. Well, we don't know which is which.
Let's test them.
I know that helium is what they use to make party balloons float. That's right, Izzy. Helium is a gas that's less dense than air, so it rises up. How something rises or sinks is related to a property of matter called density.
Helium is less dense than air, so it should float. And sulfur hexafluoride is more dense, so it should sink.
Let's fill these 2 balloons with the gases and compare their density. 3, 2, 1. The pink balloon's more dense, so it must be the sulfur hexafluoride. Great! Let's put some sulfur hexafluoride into the tank over here.
So what happens if sulfur hexafluoride gets in the boat?
Sulfur hexafluoride is heavier than air, so pouring it into our little boat makes it heavy enough to sink. Hey kids, you want to watch this whole episode and more? Tell your teacher to sign up at GenerationGenius.com. We cover all science topics.
Major technical difficulties. I'm glad that I got back and I don't have to re-record the beginning of this. So, I have never heard of that stuff that they were using in that video, but how cool is that? That it is a gas and it makes something float, but if it goes inside of it, then it makes it sink. And I thought that that was a really cool demonstration. So today you're going to be using this page, which you can't see any of. It says observing matter. And what I would like you to do is find different things around your house and talk about their properties. So, for example, I might use my lunch container. Okay? So, for my item, I'm going to say lunch container. Okay? So how many different properties can I find about my lunch container? Well, I'm touching it and it's not moving, so I think it's a solid. I can see that it is green and the bottom is clear. I can pick it up. And it's lightweight. It's not very heavy. It feels smooth. It's smooth. It's not bumpy. Although it does have a couple of indents in it. Trying to think. Maybe if I had a sink full of water or a tub full of water, I could test this item and see if it sunk or if it floats. I predict that it would float. However, I could be wrong. So I wouldn't just write float. I would want to make sure that I test that first. What other property? We got its color. I'm not going to taste it. I got what it feels like. It makes a noise only because there's another container on the inside of it. I had veggies and I had dip. Other than that, it doesn't make a noise. So I think that this is a good list of properties for this one container. Doing sink or float would be a good addition to it. However, I don't have anything big enough or holding water to test that out right now. So I would put my container back where I found it, because we pick up after ourselves, right? And then we would move on to another container. Maybe I want to look at my mask. Well, my mask is still a solid. It moves. So it's flexible, but it's still a solid. It has a whole bunch of different colors. It has dog prints, of course, and some hearts on it. It's kind of smooth. It's soft. I wouldn't call this smooth. I would call this soft because it's fabric, so I would say that it's soft. What else? It's light. It's colorful. It's soft. It's light. It probably smells like my lunch or my gum. A lot of times I burn my eyeballs because I chew gum. And then the smell gets inside the mask and it goes in my eyeballs somehow. So what I want you to do is I want you to find a few different items around your house. It doesn't matter what they are. And then list as many properties as you can about those different items. Okay? I'm very excited to see the different items that you find, but I'm also excited to see all the different ways that you identify them. Okay? One of the ones that we are talking about right now is what state of matter it is, so I would like you to include that. If it's a solid, a liquid, a gas, maybe we want to look at My afternoon pick-me-up of Mountain Dew. We could look at the can, and then we could look at the liquid that's inside the can. Okay? How are they similar? How are they different? What are their different properties? I hope that you guys have fun, and you guys can be like little detectives going around and finding different things and identifying different properties about them. Have a great day, guys.